Macron said Russia's permission is not required for the deployment of troops in Ukraine. Ukrainian foreign minister states Russia has not yet provided official response to yes ceasefire proposal and how Kremlin preparing for talks with Trump. That is news next. French President Emmanuel Macron said that France, Great Britain and other countries providing security guarantees for Ukraine after any possible ceasefire will not be aimed at deploying a mass of soldiers, but instead may send several thousand contingents to key locations in Ukraine without Russia's permission, UNN writes with reference to The Guardian. The French president told regional French newspapers, including Le Parisien and La Dépêche, the media, that several European countries and even non-European ones have expressed their willingness to join a possible deployment in Ukraine to ensure a future peace agreement with Russia. He said that this could involve several thousand troops from each state deployed in key points in Ukraine to conduct training programs and to show our long-term support. Macron added in an interview on Saturday that the proposed contingents from countries that are members of the NATO alliance would serve as a security guarantee for Ukraine and that several European countries as well as non-European ones have expressed their willingness to join such efforts when it is confirmed. He added, quote, Ukrainians cannot in any way make territorial concessions without having any security guarantees. Moscow has strongly opposed such a deployment, but Macron said that Russia's permission is not needed. He said that Ukraine is sovereign. If Ukraine asks for allied forces to be on its territory, it is not up to Russia to accept or reject them, Macron said. Macron will meet with Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney on Monday and then travel to Berlin on Tuesday to meet with German Chancellor Olaf Scholz for talks on Ukraine ahead of the European summit. British Prime Minister Keir Starmer on Saturday chaired a virtual meeting of 30 international leaders, including Macron and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, as well as leaders from Australia, Canada and New Zealand. After that, Starmer called on Putin to sign a ceasefire if he is serious about peace. He said that allies will continue to increase pressure on the Kremlin, including by moving the issue of planning peacekeeping forces to the operational phase. After the meeting on Saturday, Macron said that Europe and the United States must put pressure on Russia to agree to the proposed ceasefire. Russia does not give the impression that it sincerely wants peace, Macron said in a statement to Agence France Presse. On the contrary, the Russian president was building up hostilities and wants to get everything and then negotiate, he said. Russia must give a clear answer, and the pressure must be clear together with the United States to achieve this ceasefire, Macron said. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiga has said that as of now, Russia has not yet provided an official response to the yes proposal for a 30-day ceasefire to which Ukraine had previously agreed, reported by Sybiga in an interview with RBC Ukraine.
Let's wait for an official response, because as of today, there is none. But we definitely assume that no additional demands should be imposed. Ukraine has accepted the proposal of the American side, and accordingly, the Russian side should do the same.
About details, when asked how this response should be formalized, Sybiga said that there are various official forms of confirmation of the state's position, but as of today, there are none. This confirmation should be provided directly to the American side, he stressed. He was unable to answer the question about the possible start time of the 30-day ceasefire, saying that it is a very complicated process that, in addition to the agreement itself, also includes a number of challenges, including monitoring compliance with the truce. Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiga has said that the agreements alone are not enough to start the 30-day ceasefire. It is also necessary to resolve the issue of monitoring the temporary ceasefire, as Ukraine has already faced Russian provocations during previous such ceasefires before 2022, reported by Sybiga in an interview with RBC Ukraine.
The agreement on the ceasefire regime, Edomor, is a very complicated process in general. In addition to reaching an agreement on the ceasefire, we face such a challenge as control and monitoring over the compliance with the ceasefire. Our bad experience of the Minsk process and the ceasefires that were established then, of which there were at least 25, shows that this is indeed a challenge. It shows that we should immediately expect provocations from the Russian side.
Details. Ceasefire added that Ukraine had seen more than once that the Russians do not adhere to the agreements and their practice is to immediately violate these ceasefires. Therefore, we really need to have an effective mechanism of objective control, Ceasefire said. He reiterated that Ukraine had already begun to form a national team that would develop modalities and algorithms to ensure this process. Ceasefire also emphasized that it was only a temporary ceasefire. This is by no means a frozen conflict, but a temporary truce for 30 days, as stated in our joint statement with the United States delegation, he concluded. Ceasefire has also said that Russia has not yet provided an official response to the US proposal for a 30-day ceasefire to which Ukraine had previously agreed. The Kremlin has confirmed that a phone conversation between Russian dictator Vladimir Putin and US President Donald Trump may take place on the 18th of March, reported by Putin's spokesperson Dmitry Peskov, cited by Russian news agency Interfax. Quote, "Yes, that is indeed the case. This conversation is being prepared for Tuesday." About details, when asked by journalists to comment on Trump's statement regarding plans to discuss territorial issues, control over nuclear power plants, and potential new elements of the conversation, Peskov replied,
"We never do this. We never anticipate events. The conversation is indeed being prepared, but in our understanding, discussions between the two presidents are not subject to prior substantive disclosure. Therefore, we will not do so."
That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.